Hey everyone, I need your attention for 1 minute. This is not one of those ads. This is something that has changed my entire life. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know that this is all about personal development as the foundation for everything good in your life. And this podcast is now sponsored by Growth Day, which is the world's first all-in-one personal development app. I mean, oh my gosh, can you imagine having everything all in one place that you need to create the life that you want? Now you can. So if you've been struggling with your motivation, your mood, your productivity, or your purpose, you have to check this out. Growth Day helps you consciously change your life and achieve your potential. It has all the self-improvement tools, motivational classes, and life coaching all in one place. So many of us want to improve our lives, but the question is how? Where do we start? What do we use? How do you get unstuck? How do you make self-improvement stick? Well, research shows how. It's when you consistently journal, track your habits, set goals, learn from empowering mentors, and challenge yourself that you'll be happier, healthier, and more successful. But let me ask you something. Where do you actually do all of your personal development work? I have to tell you that over 300,000 people use Growth Day for a reason. It works. It's the world's #1 software for self-improvement. Growth Day has an amazing mindset journal that I absolutely love, a habit tracker, and a goal-setting system. In fact, I bet if you went to my stories this week, you probably saw me using the journaling app and telling you to do it too, because it's the first time that journaling has ever actually stuck consistently in my life because of this app. And best of all, Growth Day has live inspirational classes every single week from the world's top motivational speakers and life coaches. These are people who have impacted my life in huge ways. These are mentors who I already knew and loved. In fact, this is something that's so huge for me, you guys. I personally teach a class in Growth Day every single month, and it is one of the most fun things that I get to do, and I'd love to see you there. These classes will truly shift your life. There's always something new that you will learn. So join me and 300,000 achievers growing our lives with actual real intention. Visit growthday.com/Lori for a free trial. Yes, you can try this for free. So go to growthday.com/Lori and go live your best life. You guys, that's growthday.com/Lori. And I can't wait to see you there. Every single event in your life is neutral. We are the ones applying any emotion to it. It does not mean that you're making up that maybe someone thinks something about you or is upset about a decision, but that is up to us if we decide to make that mean something in our life and stress about it.
And we're back
with another episode of He Said, She Said. And today we're going to chat with you all about stress and how to manage it and where stress comes from.
People don't have stress, do they?
No. I think we're good. We can end it right here.
You know what's funny? We were just listening to that Matthew McConaughey book, and this is relevant but not relevant. And in there, he talked about white-collar prayers and blue-collar prayers. Do you remember this on the walk today? And he was saying blue-collar prayers. Lord, give me a cure for my sick child. Lord, give me
a blanket
meal,
if I'm cold.
A blanket if I'm cold. Give me a meal if I'm hungry. And white-collar prayers like, Lord, please let my football team win, or please let me get that yacht, or please let me, let this business deal go through. And it's so funny because it's an example of how, as our life shifts, we think things are stressful because we don't yet have them, or we don't know if we're going to get them, or we don't know if we're going to achieve something, and we create a stress around it when other people, they have stress over the realest, most basic things. And it shows us how silly some of the stress is that we all as people manufacture.
So I'm reading a book called Sustain Your Game. It's by Alan Stein Jr., who's actually going to be coming on my podcast. I'm really excited about it. And he is talking all about how in order to sustain your success in life, like once you get there, and this all applies to even getting there, but once you're there, how do you also sustain this? And it's really about controlling your mind and controlling the controllable. And he tells a story about Kobe Bryant and how so many different people who have studied him of course, he was one of the greats, and there were so many different things that he did great that we could analyze to death. But when coaches really look at him to try to find his differentiator and things that set him apart, it was the ability to have a short-term memory, meaning he immediately allows himself to forget about the mistake he just made 1 second ago and moves into the next play without carrying it.
I feel like I have that. And by the way, did you know it's Kobe's birthday today? It's so weird that you brought that up.
That is so bizarre.
It's his birthday today. That's so weird that you brought that up. I feel like I have a very short memory. I feel like I don't get stuck on things in the past, good or bad. Matter of fact, when you and I argue, you're shocked that I'm just like, all of a sudden onto something new. And
that is
you want to hold on to
it
forever. You know what I mean?
That is a superpower of his. And sometimes I used to view it as like, oh my God, he does not care. But I'm learning that it is a true superpower to be able to let it go. And Eckhart Tolle defines stress as the desire to be somewhere and somewhen else, which also means the desire to be in the future and already have the thing, or the desire to want to go back to the past because you had fun at a certain point in your life, or this is when you were at the top of your game. When we're there, we're never present, which means that we are robbing the present moment of its power, which means we are failing the moment. So he also writes, so Eckhart Tolle also talks about the pain that you create now. So our current pain that you're in, whatever it is, like I want you to think about your day right now and whatever kind of pain that you're feeling. He says the pain that you create now is always from some form of non-acceptance. So whether it's looking at your schedule and you don't want to accept, or you have resistance around the fact that you have 4 calls back to back or 8 calls back to back, or that you have to go and do something that you don't want to do that day. The pain is always coming from the thought around the resistance that you are applying to the thing that you have to do, rather than just being in that present moment and going through your day moment by moment.
It's really interesting. Stay with me while I go down the rabbit hole. This is so good, by the way. That like hits when you say, read it again, Eckhart Tolle's definition is just the first line.
The pain that you create now is always from some form of non-acceptance.
Yep. And then
he defines stress as the desire to be somewhere and somewhen.
Those two things, man, that is as real as it gets. So I'm going to give you a small example and a big example. Small example. I get so stressed out when I look and I see like 6 or 8 Zoom calls and meetings and all that BS on my calendar for the day, even though I chose them all, and even though I enjoy each one of them individually. And this is where it doesn't make sense until you look at the definition. So it shouldn't stress me out because I know I'm going to enjoy each one of those calls individually, but I get stressed out that I have so many Zooms for the day because I hate being on Zoom. And my stress comes from not the fact that they're going to be tough, not the fact that I'm not going to enjoy them, because those aren't true. It comes from me not accepting that I have to be on Zoom in order to move some of these businesses forward. And it comes from me wishing I was somewhen else, or, like that it was a different situation, instead of accepting, hey, you want to build these businesses, you got to be on these Zooms, period. So that's a small example. Here's a bigger example. Remember back when we had to start over financially back in 2008, 2009 because of the recession? Well, we had financial stress, and there was stress around, oh my God, how do I make this big house payment of this house that we just finished building and filling and all that? And when I said, stay with me as I go down the rabbit hole, I thought, well, what about people that have financial stress? What if they have a house and they're stressed out about making the mortgage payment? Or they rent a place and they're stressed out about making the rent payment? Their stress comes not from the fact that they have to make that payment, but from the fact that they haven't accepted that maybe they shouldn't be in that large of a house right now, or maybe they shouldn't be living in that part of town right now, or maybe they shouldn't have that truck or that car payment right now, et cetera, et cetera. Because when I look back about our financial stress, 2008, 2009, when I was stressing about the house and everything else, it was non-acceptance that, hey, you didn't earn this and you can't afford to stay here anymore. Your job cut all of its bonuses. Stop trying to make it work. My stress came from the fact that I wouldn't accept that. And I thought, gee, maybe somehow I can make this work.
He talks about in this book, because everything we're talking about right now is from this book, which I highly recommend, that every single event in your life is neutral. We are the ones applying any emotion to it. It does not mean that you're making up that maybe someone thinks something about you or is upset about a decision, but that is up to us if we decide to make that mean something in our life and stress about it. And it is up to us if we decide to dwell on that moment and that particular idea and concept that maybe people are disappointed. Because the fact is, someone will always be disappointed because that is how some people are also wired, is that someone is always going to not like something that you're doing, whether it's someone who's close to you in your family or whether that is someone at work or whether that's someone influential. You can't let it matter because that means that you are failing the present moment. And that's the only place where anything for your future happens is in the present moment. So with every decision to let things bother us and weigh us down, that's us robbing our future of where we're supposed to go because we're robbing the present moment where things can actually happen.
Is it? So are you doing that right now with anything?
I am. I'm worried about what some people will think of different things that I have going on in my life. And I'm also actively, that's why I'm reading this book over and over, I am actively choosing to not let stories that are probably actually not even true that I'm making up in my head affect me in the most important moments right now, which are the decision-making moments, which are the creative moments that only happen in the present. And whenever I go back into a story that I think has happened or something that could happen in the future, I am not present, which is where all creativity, all ideas, and all forward momentum come from.
It's interesting. 99% of our stress is stressing about things that won't happen or beliefs that we think people have that they don't actually have. 99% of stress comes from those two things. That's crazy. All right, well, hopefully this helps everybody as you guys manage stress. The whole point of us sharing this is when you know this, you can catch it. When you catch it, you can reframe it. And when you get real good at doing that quickly, it's amazing how great of a life you can end up living.
Just choosing again. If that thought comes in, I say this mantra all the time. I'm like, this is not the thought that I want to be thinking because it's giving me these feelings. I'm going to choose again. What is a thought or what is something I can focus on and go and do? Because sometimes you have to go and walk with it, right? To move that thought out of your body. What is something that I can go and do, or what thought can I cling on to that will get me out of this one? So they're just every little thought that can put you up into a higher energetic vibration is where you want to go. So you guys, we're so grateful for you. And until next time, earn your happy and what
when
else,
good people
Chris?
make good money, they do great things.
Great. Have a good one. Bye guys. Want to know a huge secret to my success? Okay, not only my success, but just about every single person that I have interviewed on this podcast who is successful has this in common. You guys, they love to journal. They capture their life lessons and what they're grateful for. But a lot of people don't keep this up consistently. And most people do know that the research shows that journaling deepens your gratitude and increases self-awareness. But did you also know that journaling decreases stress and helps you achieve your goals faster? In fact, journaling is a huge differentiator between average performers at work and high-performing people. It leads to longer-term clarity, confidence, and success. So why don't more people journal? Why didn't I journal consistently? Honestly, they don't like staring at a blank page. It's hard to carry a book around with you or a notepad, and they just don't even know what to write about, or they just forget. That's why I know that you're going to love Growth Day. It's the world's #1 system for self-improvement, and it's like all-in-one personal development in an app. And it has an awesome digital journal, and people love it. Growth Day's digital journal has hundreds of research-backed writing prompts for self-reflection, positive mindset, confidence building, and success. I use them all the time, and it makes me think in ways that I typically don't, and it makes me ask myself better questions, which we all know gets better results in our life. It even has prompts that help you develop a daily, weekly, or monthly habit of reflecting on your life and identifying areas to grow. So it's a perfect time of year to start journaling, you guys. When you sign up at Growth Day, you also get systems for habit tracking, goal setting, and scoring, and improving every area of your life. Best of all, I get to teach there too, you guys. I'm so excited. I hope that I get to see you. I teach live in Growth Day every single month with a new topic just for you. So join me there. Start your free trial at growthday.com/Lori. Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar, and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to Kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also has influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at Kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true deep sense of community. And
It's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.